All right, we are live and waiting for people to show up.
Hi, I'm gathering bread supplies.
Nobody's watching.
Hey! Oh, no. Jennifer. No, Jennifer said hi at yesterday. We're still new to this. But I guess we wait for everyone to show up.
People are entering, so
Yay!
Hello! How is everyone? It's nice to see you on this lovely Wednesday morning. Let's see.
How can you tell that
Good morning, Miss Tina. Good morning, Miss Tammy. Good morning, Miss Ruth. And good morning, Miss Dion. What, Miss Hunt? Oh yeah, I'm glad that Dad got there safely.
Yeah, so originally I said, be safe. I don't want you driving sleepy. And he said, oh, well, it'll probably take 2 days. Yeah. He was just trying to make me feel better. He knew all along he was going to be there in 1 day. He arrived safe last night.
All right, so question. Would you like to see bread in action or all of my old art? Because I don't know how many of y'all know, but I do draw.
Yeah.
So we can either...
Or if you want both, I said, why don't I go ahead while we wait for more people to arrive? I'll go ahead, and someone had asked yesterday to see how I make the bread, and it's pretty quick. And I'm sorry, I haven't gotten the JB Weld or the Gorilla Tape because, Mark's not here to go find that for me. But here we go. You want to do the honors of holding
All right, I got
the bread
bucket
maker?
duty.
Okay, and it's got the paddle in there. I always turn it to make sure it turns. The first of 5 ingredients is 3 cups of flour. 1.
Oh, Grandpa, hello! Mr. Jim Porterbergen. Oh, hello, Miss Jennifer. Good morning.
2. Three cups of flour.
Ooh, dusty. Miss Childress, hello. Good morning.
We are still in our first of 5 ingredients. So even though this is a second thing, I still count it as 1 ingredient. Otherwise, my brain short circuits.
The paddle is very important.
So sugar. So second of the first ingredients.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Robert.
And then we have the second ingredient, which is composed of 2 ingredients. So that's yeast. So that was 3 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, tablespoon of yeast. This is a teaspoon measure, so I do 3 of these. 1, 2, 3, and then just because it's whole wheat, and I just put in a little bit of extra.
Thank you, Miss Tina.
I'm gonna close it up. The second of the second ingredients, the dough enhancer. Tablespoon of this as well. 1, 2, 3, and then, what the heck? Why not just a little bit more?
Oh, he did get there in good shape. He's in Minnesota, safe and sound. Thank goodness.
Hopefully he's sleeping.
We hope that he's sleeping for sure.
Actually, he's probably not sleeping because he never sleeps. But he wouldn't have had time to get his computer set up and all of that. So, maybe he's watching. The
it says element.
Third, that's obviously salt. So that's 3 ingredients so far. It's like technically 5 things, but I mentally think of it as 3. So I need 2 more ingredients. So I carefully measure my flour, and then I don't carefully measure anything else. This is the least carefully measured. Is I just take our butter and I go, well, that's kind of like about a tablespoon, and that's about another tablespoon, and let's have a little bit more for good measure.
Oh, Dad's watching.
So he is watching.
Hi, Dad.
Okay.
How are you? So today,
last ingredient.
We are Meriwether, and he's
1 cup of water.
Bucket duty just got harder. Good morning, Miss Urban.
And then it goes in the bread maker. And that's it. 3 hours later, we will have bread.
Dad really had us in the first half, didn't he? Surprise, Meriwether. Oop, All right, and she's gonna set that up in the bread maker and let it go. All right, now onto art. So I have
onto art.
Several of these old journals.
I want to point out that she's been a portrait artist for, how old are you?
I'm 17.
You've been a portrait artist for about 15 years.
Watch out, Dad. I'm kidding. All right, so
let's see. So I didn't know it at the time, but she was about 2 years old when she found the markers, or a pen or pencil. I don't know.
I found the wall and the markers.
And
a dangerous combination.
This is what I can replicate. We didn't keep any of it, but this is what her initial portraits looked like. We called that her jellyfish phase. We actually didn't know what they were. It wasn't until retrospect that we realized, yes, she was a portrait artist at 2 years old, and this is what she drew. There is the person, mostly face, and 2 arms, 2 legs. And you can see now how far she's come.
I like that, Miss Childress. I need a bread maker. Everybody does. All right, so wow.
So let's get a little bit of background information. You may know that she was homeschooled for several years. And, I'd try and get her to do math. And eventually she would do the math.
But
she would also do things like draw doodles all over her homework. So I decided, one thing that we do to encourage her is we'd have journals for our homeschooling. And these were just the primary composition books, like so, where it's lines on one side, on the top, on the bottom, and then a blank space on the top where you can draw a picture. And then this is just a cover where they drew a picture and then put it on with tape. And every day it was draw something, write something, whatever you want. And can we put these in date order so we can see some of this? Oh yeah, y'all said there are 3 requirements. Draw something, and write the date on it. I don't know where to put the date on this one. Oh,
February 21st. But yeah, they start out pretty funky. I drew my old piano teacher. This was a while back. It was 2013. Oh, good morning, Mr. Schroeder.
Sometimes she was not particularly inspired. It was a picture of a portrait and hi. That counts as writing something.
Yeah.
And there was a date.
Sometimes I would draw owls.
Or more people.
These are from like 2013-ish.
This is 2012. We have not looked at these in like years.
So here's my 2015 one, and I actually got a pretty good spread of people from actually like an online class that I was taking. So I actually drew everybody.
This is a bunch of fairies. So she would go through phases where like she had her eye phase, she had her fairy phase, she had your, I don't know, smiley face phase. Show that one.
Oh, I drew this in November of 2015, and I just said, "Ooh, hi, this is me." All right. Now on to, I suppose, the quality work. That makes me feel less terrified. So I started, as you can tell, taking portraits far more seriously. And this is one of my newer works. Ooh. So I'm actually showing you my current portfolio. Ooh, that's like a plastic surgery type thing, but this is one of my friends, Ava.
So what was really cool was when she would draw pictures of people and we'd realize, oh, we actually know that person in real life. And she'd be like, I'm not even done.
As you can tell, though, I'm definitely a portrait artist. Oh, this was somebody getting attacked by the coronavirus, but like monster edition.
So I just think this is an amazing story. Like you can see she's changed to the house. That's actually what our front door looks like, and
Yeah.
the chair sitting there, and you can see pictures of Mark's patents on the wall there.
Oh yeah, you can see him up there.
So she was a portrait artist, and she went through, and then we noticed, she didn't do backgrounds back, right? And so Meriwether got on her case asking her, hey, you should draw backgrounds. We can never figure out which one's right side up for this picture.
Oh yeah. Ooh, I don't know how to get it not diagonal, but there we go. And then another coronavirus one in true Corona fashion. And then there's this fairy one.
So the fairy phase never completely disappeared. Hey,
there's all sorts of mushrooms.
Read the comments.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, so thank you, Robert. It says, Robert, you would buy that. I keep telling her is that she's actually tried selling some pictures. So she would have. I remember one of her friends asked for a picture, and she spent like 10 hours drawing a picture for the girl and sold it to the girl for like $2.
I didn't know exactly how to price it, and then I've been messing around with like alcohol inks, and then this is the last kind of like eye thing that I've done. So yeah.
So that is the progression. Would anyone be interested in learning how she developed these skills and what kind of instruction she got? Okay, so like what it is we recognized early on that she liked to draw, that she was a portrait artist because she drew these. And so I went through all of the homeschooling resources on what's the best way to teach art. And I decided that I was going to go with what was the most affordable method that I could think of that I found in all of my research. And that was what I call the ream method. The ream method of art is you go buy a ream of paper and you let the kid have at it. And since I'm not an artist, because this is like a stretch for me. This is about how well I draw and about how well I sing. So this is what it is like. I have no artistic talents. How can I teach someone who can draw a portrait like this at 2? And the answer is the ream method. Because when you're that young, they're not going to sit still for lessons. They don't have that interest level. So basically gave her a bunch of paper, access to a bunch of paper, and let her do whatever she wanted, and just told her she needed to clean it up after herself. And
Just
please
went
keep it
ham on that stack
on
of paper.
the paper and off the walls, which she did. That was great. Then the next thing that I did was I was like, she's getting older. She was, what, you were like 3rd grade. So I thought, you know what? I'll sign her up for an art class. Unfortunately, there was a local homeschool art class that was starting up. And so I signed her up for it. And it was like a week-long camp. And I found out the week after the camp that she'd been sitting in the back of the room and she also needed glasses. So she spent that entire class
blind as a bat,
could not see what the teacher was doing because she needed glasses. Okay. So we got her glasses. And that really helped when she was doing other things. It just really didn't do a whole lot for the art class. Because after she got the glasses, wow, there's leaves on that tree. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I didn't realize that you needed glasses that badly. Because most of what we do was up close. We're sitting here. When you're homeschooling, you're not looking at a blackboard or a chalkboard that's all the way across a room. She's got glasses. Now she has contact lenses. Isn't she just a beautiful face? She actually is equally beautiful with glasses. So after that was kind of depressing. It's okay. I tried getting her art classes and that kind of failed. But then eventually we found another art class for her. And I was really proud. And I said, look, see, my daughter likes art. And she drew, I showed the teacher a picture of her. And then that's when I found out that the other way that I failed as an art teacher is I had been giving her Crayola. I really thought, it's not crazy art. I'm giving her quality supplies. I'm giving her Crayola. Then we found Prismacolors. And then we found, I was talking with another mom and we found the alcohol ink Copic markers. Don't have your child grow up to be an artist. Prevent it as much as you can. Hold away the reams because you know what happens? One Copic marker, one single Copic marker costs more than an entire pack of Crayola markers. Not just the 8-pack. I'm talking more than the 24-pack of Crayola markers costs about as much as a single Copic marker. And they never go on sale. Occasionally you can get them on the coupon, the Michael's coupon. So what I'll do is to get those Copic markers, I'll go and I will get a Michael's coupon and then I will go and I would pester Michael's every week to see if they'd have them in stock because they would only get one set. The first one she got was a flesh tone set because she's a portrait artist. I was okay, let's do flesh tone. And they just wouldn't have it. And so I spent about 3 months going to Michael's every week trying to find the set of flesh tone markers for her.
Please repeat the name of good crayons.
Good crayons. Well, I actually never got more crayons beyond the Crayola, right? Because then you jumped to Prismacolor and Copics.
So yeah, how expensive are Prismacolor?
Prismacolors? I think I remember at Sam's Club you could get a packet of 24 for $30, which I thought was a good deal because by then I'd already been buying Prismacolors for a while.
Oh yeah, all my artists here. Copics are top of the line. Yep.
So
much more creative. And yeah, there's a reason art students are always broke. You're right, Miss April.
Oh, the other thing I found out was actually if you go to Lakeshore Learning.
Wait, fun fact. So as you could tell, every single time I tried to do math, I'd always end up doing something like that and end up doodling, etc. So of course I happened to be sitting in class at my high school, and in geometry, which was probably the worst math class for me, right? And I was I really just don't want to learn more about the Pythagorean theorem. I got the basics down. I was I checked out basically. Anyway, so I wanted to draw, and of course my first thought was, what about draw the person standing right in front of me? So I drew the teacher, and she actually noticed, and she was like, Kiki, please speak to me after class. And that's the sentence of doom, right? But turns out, after I spoke to her after class, she said, I know you were drawing, and I should give you a lunch detention, but that portrait of me is so good. If you do another one on another piece of paper and give it to me so I can give it to my husband, I will let you off. And that's how I escaped.
That's how she escaped lunch detention.
So yeah. Fun fact about my drawing. Oh, I also gave a portrait of my ethics teacher to said ethics teacher, and he gave it to his fiance who framed it on her desk. So I got you if you want face. Prismacolors do cost a lot. All right.
Oh, as much as the other way is as far as if you're looking for art supplies that are a little bit more affordable because your artist is like 5. And if you have a portrait artist who's 5 years old, I recommend going to Lakeshore Learning because they have a set of flesh tone colored pencils. And they're a little bit chunkier, but they're way cheaper than Prismacolors, way cheaper than anything else like that. And they're big and chunky, and you can get all that wonderful array of flesh tones for an affordable price because 5-year-olds don't take great good care of their art supplies.
Crayola super tips are also pretty good. They come in a more variety of colors, and those are also markers, but they're very nice.
Tammy Spears asks, have you tried to draw yourself?
Well, I can answer that with this lovely painting right back here. I don't know if y'all saw it peeking out right here, but we drew this in art class.
So this is one of the art classes that she's taken.
I don't think there's much resemblance.
So the question, it's not so much of has she tried to draw herself, it's more of a how can she not draw herself? Because we've noticed that everyone she draws, if she's drawing like from a reference picture or a person that she actually knows, it looks exactly like that person. But if she's drawing just a random fairy, for example, or someone that's not exactly real, just a character from imagination.
There's certain features that I always put in that are actually kind of reminiscent of like my actual physique. So for example, if you look, I smile, right? Pointy chin.
All of her pictures of people that are not an actual human person that she's
Have,
stared
like,
at for ages has a pointy chin.
And then my ears. As you can see, they're kind of stick outish more than the average ear. But the people that I draw will usually have ears like that.
So, yes, she does draw pictures of herself. She draws pictures of the family.
Oh, wow, that's awesome, Miss Curie. Incredible. Got some artists here. Oh, and yes, I do use paints occasionally.
Okay. Oh, and Tina says that she has a mini original, the cover of the Common Medicinal Plants of Texas.
Oh yeah,
do we have a copy of that? Yeah. So if you've been to one of Meriwether's medicinal plant classes, we have the book. You get one of these booklets, and Meriwether drew that picture. I think she did a really fabulous job.
But yeah.
Okay. She says she needs an artist's autograph next to the author's autograph. Get back with us and we'll see about how we can do that. Right now we can't, we're in different states, so we can't get both autographs at the same piece of paper, but we'll figure it out.
Oh, thank you, the lakeshorelearning.com.
Yeah, so lakeshorelearning.com is where you can get the flesh tone colored pencils.
Oh, stands in a place of honor on her bookshelf. I'm honored. But yeah, that's art. Oh, good morning, Miss Serenity.
And so she's going to be a senior in high school in the fall, which means college applications are happening now. So she's been looking at different art colleges. She created a little mini portfolio online and submitted it to a few colleges just to get a feel for what they think of her. And I'm like, well, that's what I love you, of course. And she already got a couple of comments back saying she's a great artist. They'd love to have her. Unfortunately, we really don't know what's going on with the virus, so it's kind of hard to have art instruction virtually. She was originally supposed to go to a pre-college art program this summer, and she'd applied to several of them, and they were all canceled. They all got canceled. So she's here. Oh, and she can take. Do you want to take an art challenge? Yeah.
Oh,
So does someone want to suggest something for her to draw? So we've got something she can draw in 5 minutes because we have 5 minutes left. Jennifer asks, what would be your perfect college?
I was actually looking at Rhode Island School of Design, and Maryland actually piqued my interest. A bat, a character of Merriweather.
Ooh. A bat.
Chirpy!
Character here, Chirpy. Okay. So one thing about the way she draws is she draws fast, but not super fast. So a couple times she's entered the Rodeo Quick Draw art contest where she has 50 minutes to draw a portrait, and she can draw an amazing portrait in 50 minutes. Sometimes it's hard for her to draw something in 2 seconds, though. I mean, there's some artists that do that, but okay, so here it's taking her like, what, 10 seconds? Go ahead and give a quick show of what Chirpy looks like so far.
So far, Chirpy's head is a little bit too big. He looks more like a cow. But that's Chirpy so far.
That's Chirpy. Have you ever seen how much observation time have you had for Chirpy?
I've never witnessed Chirpy. Okay. Because there's a theory going around that I am Chirpy. And I must say, yes, I am Chirpy.
I hear Chirpy in the morning.
I've been exposed.
Chirpy has a beautiful voice just like you.
Fun fact, our carbon monoxide alarm went off, right? And both my parents thought that it was just me making noises. So I think that I'm Chirpy. Revealed.
No. Actually, there is one fact that actually could support it or deny it, is that you like to sleep in the mornings. So if she's asleep, if she's sleeping in the mornings,
asleep,
but maybe she's not actually asleep.
I become Chirpy.
Maybe she's actually become Chirpy.
Oh yes, I'm left-handed.
Okay, so story about being left-handed. I'm left-handed, Mark's left-handed, Minnie's left-handed. She's homeschooled. And so when I was teaching her how to write, because that's what you do in kindergarten, right? I'd put the pencil next to her left hand and she would pick it up with her left hand. So she learned how to write with her left hand. She does absolutely everything else right-handed. Like she eats right-handed. She's anything else she does it with her right hand, but she writes and draws with her left hand. Yeah. So I forced her to be left-handed.
Final form. She has no eye. I'm so sorry. Oh, Miss Jennifer Bell. Left-handed.
Actually,
she's sure Chirpy has a pointed chin. Will do. All right. Well, we got 2 minutes left, and I guess.
Okay, so hopefully tomorrow, Merriweather will have everything set up, and hopefully tomorrow he will be broadcasting from Minnesota, and I can return to my reclusive self.
Oops, you can sleep in again. But yeah, thank y'all so much for coming, and then I guess.
Oh, we've got to have our list of 18 steps that we need to take to make sure that we do it all right. I'm the one that reads all the instructions like 7 times. She just kind of goes with the flow.
I'm so glad y'all had fun. Mm-hmm. I hope this inspired you to expand your horizons. Maybe try a different hand at things. No pun intended.
And if you have an artist, the Ream method.
What's in the coffee today? Sugar. I'm not like my dad. I like sugar, but other than that, coffee. Oh yeah. Scissors. Scissors are a complicated thing when you are left-handed. I can attest to that.
I remember my mom went and tried to find left-handed scissors for me and went through our entire town. And she got me a pair of left-handed scissors. And then she found out that I just learned how to use right-handed scissors, and I couldn't use the left-handed scissors. That I actually do a weird pull thing with my thumb instead of a proper push. I can't use left-handed scissors. It sucks. I can use a left-handed crochet hook though.
All right, it's 8 a.m., so we are signing off. Thank y'all so much for coming.